Welcome to Ansys Tutorials by Civil Thinking, and in this class we will see an introduction to structural analysis in Ansys program. Now before I move on, I suggest to you to please watch the video lectures on Ansys Tutorials one by one in sequence as in the playlist so that you understand better. The playlist link is in the description, or also you can click on the pop-up on your screen. Now coming to today's class, in this class we will have a basic class on structural analysis in Ansys. Okay, now basically in this class we will see how to analyze beams or bars, uh, trusses. Okay, now all these kind of structures, they are treated as line bodies. Okay, line bodies in Ansys. Okay, now line bodies plus cross section. Okay, for example, what I mean to say is, for example, let us talk about this bar. Okay, for example, you have this bar here. Let us say this is fixed at here, and we have some force F1 here, and we have another force F2 here. Okay, now you want to analyze this bar in the Ansys program. Okay, now this bar have two elements. Okay, because this is one element, this is one element, all of this, and this is element 2, right? All of this is element 2, right? Now this bar have two elements. Okay, and it will have, of course, some cross section. It can be circular or it can be rectangular. Okay, so what we do when we have these kinds of bars, or we have truss elements, for example a truss like this, a truss. Okay, we represent uh, each member with the help of a line. Okay, the way I am drawing a line here, we call this as line body. Okay, line body in Ansys terminology. So this is line body 1, this is line body 2, this is line body 3, this is line body 4, this is line body 5, 6 and 7, right? So now when we have this, we will represent it in Ansys like this is line body 1. Okay, then it will be line body 2. Okay, then we will apply support here, and then we will apply force F1 at this point, and then we will apply force F2 at this point. So what I mean to say is, when we have these kinds of structures to analyze in, so we need at least two things. Okay, we need to know the length. For example, the length here is L1. Okay, here the length is L2. Okay, we need to know the length, and the length is told by the line body, right? Okay, suppose this is length L1, and we need the cross section details. Okay, for example circular or anything. Okay, so in Ansys what we do to analyze these kinds of structures, we need two things. One is the line. Okay, and another is the cross section. Okay, the line body, right, we have to specify its length. Okay, and we have to specify its radius. Okay, the cross section. Okay, or the dimensions of the cross section. Okay, so let us move on. Now let us see the basic of in an Ansys. Now we analyze structural analysis. We do it in what? We do it in static structural. Okay, static structural. When you will open the Ansys program, you will see a lot of kind of analysis, and one of them is static structural. Okay, you have to double click on this, double click on static structural. Okay, so then you can do the structural analysis of trusses, beams. Okay, all that kind. Okay, now when you suppose you are already in the static structural. Okay, so when you double click on the static structural, you will see this interface. Okay, all of this you will see this. Okay, now here are some You have to follow all of these steps, okay, to complete your analysis. Now when any of the step is complete, you will see this tick mark here, right? And when there is problem or when something is incomplete, you will see this sign, right? Note of interrogation. Okay, so let me first tell you the outline how we do the analysis. Okay, first of all, what we do, we define the material. Okay, now this lecture is very important because if you see in the YouTube, no one will explain you like this, okay, the way I am explaining. Okay, I will this video lecture will be a bit long, but this is really very important if you are a beginner in Ansys program. Okay, now then after in the next classes we will be fast. Okay, now this is the introduction, so we will explain each and every step. Okay, so the step one in the analysis of structures is first define the material. Okay, I will tell you where to do this, where to do each step. First let me outline the steps. Okay, first you define the material, what you do then the second step you do is uh, uh, draw the line body and cross section. Okay, after this, when your line body and cross section is ready, what you do after that, you do meshing. Okay, okay, now when you do the meshing, what you do, you assign the materials. Okay, assign the materials, because in step one you define the material. Okay, material of the body, for example beam or truss, what is it made of, I mean what is it is Young's modulus, is it isotropic, what is its Young's modulus, what is its Poisson's ratio, what are its other properties. Okay, then in this step you assign the material to each part. Okay, for example, let me show it here. Now this is material 1 here, right? This is 1 and this is 2. Okay, for example this, now here the Young's modulus is different. For example, this is a different material, so here you will assign the material. For example, you created material 1 and 2. Okay, you created two materials, you will assign one material to this one, right? And you will assign another material to this one. Okay, now when you assign the materials, then what we have to do, we have to uh, apply supports, support conditions and the forces, supports and forces. Okay, after that I will explain it in a while, don't worry. After applying supports, then what you do, then you are ready. Okay, then you will get the solution. Okay, now these are basically the steps you have to define the material. Okay, now what material I have, as I have told you before, what is the Young's modulus. Okay, how do you define the material. Okay, now you define the material in this engineering data. Okay, in this step. Okay, you double click on engineering data and you will define the material here. Okay, now when you define the material, now it is time to draw the line body, right? You have to draw this, right? Now I told you how you have to draw this. You have to draw it using two lines, right? Because they are two materials. Okay, now how do you draw? You draw in the geometry. Okay, now what we do after, when you draw the body completely, then there is meshing, right? As I have told you in earlier classes, again I am saying, if you have not watched my previous lectures, please watch the video lectures one by one in the playlist so that you understand better. Okay, now you do the meshing in this step. Okay, in the model. Okay, now geometry, you right click on it. Okay, then you click on design modeler. Okay, don't worry, we will show that. Then in the meshing, you double click on the model. Okay, Then assign the materials. When you double click on setup, you can assign the models, assign the materials, okay, and you can also apply the supports, and you can also apply the forces, the loads, the self weights if it exists, okay. Then now these two steps, solution and results, they are in setup, okay. So you don't have to separately click on them, okay. You can simply go to setup, and here you will see the solution of your problem, okay. For example, you wanted to find the shear force diagram of this, you wanted to draw the bending moment diagram of this beam, or you wanted to find the stresses at different pointers, you wanted to see the displacement, okay, in different pointers, at different pointers, everything, all the results you will get when you are in setup, okay. You will tell the program what details you want, okay, you will input those details and it will give you the results, okay. So now, as I have told you, define the material, okay. You will do it in engineering data, okay. There is not there is no much thing to do, but draw the line, body and cross section, okay. Now it is not really simple, it is, you have to follow some steps to do this thing, okay. So first let me explain this, okay. Define the material, we will explain each step one by one, okay. Now, sorry, not this, control C, control V. Now in the define the material, what you will do, you will create material, okay. Now Ansys have already, a library of different materials. You can choose the, by default materials from them, for example structure, steel and other things. Or if you did not find the default material in the library of the Ansys program, then you can create your own material in it, okay. So when you create your material, you give it some name, for example material 1. For example, you created two materials, you name them material 1, material 2, okay. Then you assign the properties to them, for example Young's modulus, Poisson's ratio, okay. Again Young's modulus, Poisson's ratio, okay. If it is isotropic, okay, then you will, drag the isotropic material. I will show you those things in material, but here is the, the outline, okay. So you create the material, okay, and you define the material, okay. You input whatever the values you have and you name them, for example material 1 and material 2, okay. Then comes the second step. Second step is draw the line, body and cross section, okay. Now draw the line, body and cross section. Now it is not very easy, you cannot just, do it in one step, okay. Now there are some steps here, okay. Now we have two things, line, body and cross section, okay. Now we have to create them differently, okay. And for each type we have different steps, okay. Now let me talk about first line, body. Line, body. Now first you have to draw, okay. You have to exactly draw the lines, okay, and assign, set the dimensions, okay. You draw, then what you do, then you click on generate, okay. You click on generate, okay. You will see some button, I will show you, don't worry. You will click on the generate. From then you will get the sketch, okay. What you will get, you will get the sketch, okay. Then what you have to do, now sketch, you have to click on concept, then you have to click from lines from sketch, okay. This is an option, okay. You will see this in the program, okay. Lines from sketch is an option. When you click on concept, you will see this, okay. So you click here, lines from sketch. What it will do, it will create the line, okay. Then what you do, then you click again on what, you click again on generate. Now this generate button, You have to use it so often. Okay, you click again generate, then what you'll do now, it will convert the line into line body, right? Line body, so you get this line body, right? Because you wanted this. Okay, but here's a catch. Now for example, if you have two members, for example this and this. Okay, now as I have told you before, you need two line bodies. Okay, now one line body for this is a line body representing this material, then we will have, for example, this line body, right? Now what is happening here, you have to, because they are two different materials, right? This material is different from this. Okay, how do you know? If the cross sectional area of is different, you can see here the cross section is large and here the cross section is small, so you will understand these are two members. Okay, so since you have more than one member, then you need, okay, when you have more than one member, then more than you need more than one sketch. Okay, so when you, for example, let's consider this body. Okay, you follow these steps, all of these, and you get this body, right? You get this line body, right? This is the line body of this. Okay, so to draw this, you need this line body. Okay, so you follow all of these steps. Okay, then you have to click, you have to create new sketch. Okay, you will see the option there, new sketch. You have to create new sketch. Okay, then follow all of these steps again for the sketch number. For example, this is sketch 2. For example, sketch 2, you follow again all of these, all of those steps, so then you will get this line body, right? Okay, now because you have more than two bodies, so then at the end you will get line body. For example, line body 1, let us call this as line body 1. Okay, line body 1, and this is line body 2. Okay, so you will get line body 1, for example, line body 2. You can change these names too. Okay, then you select both of them in the option. Okay, then you right click. Okay, then you right click on them and then click on what, form part from lines. Okay, something like this, part of lines or something. But you will see when you click, when you select both of them. Okay, you have to select both. Okay, select both, right click, you will see form new part. I think it is new part. Okay, or something, but you will see form part. Okay, when you click this, what it will do, because you see you created line body 1 like this, then you created line body 2. Okay, but you didn't, you have to tell the Ansys it is basically single body. Okay, isn't it? Because when we talk about this bar, they are connected here, right? They are connected here, they are not two bodies, line body 1, line body 2, right? But they are connected, so you have to select both and right click so that they can be combined. Okay, so because so that you get single line body. Okay, line body part. Okay, in Ansys we call it as part. Okay, all of it will be treated as a single body, right? Because you created two line bodies, but you have to combine them, right? Also, when you create, for example, line body 1, when you created this, okay, you have to create it as add material. Don't worry about this, don't take it serious, I will show you. Then when you create this line body, you have to assign it as add frozen. Okay, add frozen. If you will not choose add frozen, then what it will do, it will treat the both bodies as what, it will assign the cross section of this to this two. Okay, now when you add it as frozen, it will assign, for example, you created cross section 1, for example, you created cross section 1, it will be assigned to this one, and then you created cross sectional 2, it will be assigned to this, right? Because we, of course, we have different cross sections here, right? So we have to add frozen. Now if the cross section is same, you don't have to add frozen here, okay? Anyways, now draw the line body and cross section where we have done this step, right? Now we have what? Meshing, okay? Meshing. I told you you can do the meshing in what? Model. You have to double click on this model icon, and it will open a new program, okay? Then in the meshing, let me write it here. In the meshing, what you have to do, you will see an option there, geometry, when it will open new window, okay? Then you have to, right click here, right click, and then you have to click, no, not geometry, you have to click on the mesh, okay? Mesh option. Then you right click and you click on generate mesh, okay? You click on this, then what it will do, it will generate the mesh, right? For example, we have drawn these first, okay? This is line body 1, this is line body 2, okay? Then we combine them, so we get this part. All of this is a part, okay? Then we have to mesh it, okay? Because I have told you in earlier classes, in Ansys program we use what? Finite element analysis, right? There, in finite element analysis, we subdivide it into with the help of mesh, okay? So when you click on generate mesh, it will apply, some mesh on it, okay? So that the Ansys program will be able to generate the solution or analyze it, okay? So when the meshing is done, then we have to what? Assign the supports, right? No, assign the materials, okay? Now assign the material, what does it mean? Because here you have created material, right? You have created material here, right? For example, material 1, material 2. Now this body, this member have material 1 and this member have material 2, okay? So you have to assign them. So how you will do, when you double click on setup, okay? When you double click on setup, then you will have to click on geometry. Then you will see the option to, then you have to go to the material, then assignment, then you have to assign each material, okay? I will show you, don't worry. Then after when the material is assigned, okay, then we have to apply supports and forces, okay? It will be done in the same step, okay? You have, because you have already opened the setup, then what you will do, apply supports and forces, okay? Let me add some points to this, okay? Now what we have to do here, now when you double click on the setup, okay, it will open uh, Ansys mechanical enterprise, okay. Then in this program you have to click on the environment, okay. So when you click on the environment, you will see many options here, okay, including what? Including forces, supports, okay. Supports, you will also see forces, okay, and many other options, but right now we are concerned with this, okay. We will explore more options as we move on, okay, as we need. Now in the supports, you have to click here on the supports, then you have to choose the support, for example, fixed, whatever, okay. Then where is the fixed support? Fixed support was here, right? Then you have to click on this point, okay, and click on apply, okay. Then it will apply this fixed support at here, okay. Similarly, for example, you have force here F1, okay. then you have force here F2. Okay, then you have to click on forces. Okay, you have to click on this force, then click on this point and click apply. Okay, it will apply the force here. Then you have to set the magnitude of force F1. There you will see the input. Okay, you have to enter there. Similarly, then you have to create new force and click on this point and click apply. Okay, when you click apply, you will see this F2 force here. Okay, then you have to set the magnitude, whatever the magnitude is in. Okay, so we are done with everything. Now it is time for the results. Okay, we have defined the material, we have drawn the body. Okay, line body, we have done the meshing, we have assigned the material, we have applied the supports. Okay, environment, we call this as end conditions. Okay, now what we do in the same setup in the mechanical Ansys mechanical enterprise, then you will see solution. You have to, what solution do you want? Okay, for example, you want the stresses. Okay, then there is one option, you have to add you know beam tool. Don't worry about this, it is basically something, it's very cool. Okay, when you add beam tool, then with the help of this beam tool, you can you can draw, you can find the results like shear force diagram, bending moment diagrams, and you can also add the deformation, you can add the uh, direct stresses, normal stresses. Okay, everything. So when you choose, you have to choose what solutions do you want, what results do you want, right? You have to add them in here. Then you have to click on evaluate results. Okay, click on what? Evaluate all results. Okay, or also you can click on I think it is solve. Okay, so when you do this, you will get all the results that you have added. Okay, you will get all the results in just one click. Okay, so I think that's it for today, but please see immediately my next class after this. Okay, because here I will show you the, we will solve a problem. Okay, and we will apply all these steps in that problem. Okay, that way your foundation will be strong. Okay, your concept understanding of the Ansys program will be strong. Okay, so that's it for today, and if you need any help in any Ansys project, okay, you can definitely contact me. The link to contact me is in the description. Okay, and if you have any questions, please comment. So that's it for today. See you in the next class. Thank you.